Are you feeling exhausted, overwhelmed, out of control? Just don't know where to start? Well, today I would like to take you on an interactive guided brain dump to help get all of that clutter out of your head and onto a piece of paper or in a trusted note-taking system. So stick with me today and I will help you clear your mind for better things. Well, hi everyone. I'm Crystal from A Crystal Clear Life, where we focus on planning, organizing, and living a more simplified life. I'm so happy that you could join me today because I think today is a very important topic. There are times in all of our lives where we have so many things going on, or we feel so weighted down that we don't really know where to start. Um, Sometimes that happens at the change of seasons, and that's kind of what I want to talk to you about today. The one concept that I want to talk to you about today is a brain dump. Some people call it a mind sweep. Some people call it a decluttering of the brain or of the mind. Whatever you want to call it, it doesn't matter to me. The concept came to me originally through the book called Getting Things Done by David Allen. That, I think, is where the concept originated. And in David Allen's book, it was originally written for executives, but for me, it's not about just being more productive. I use brain dumps for every aspect of my life, and it really helps me find calm and clarity because I know that I'm not forgetting something. Everything that I have on my mind is written down somewhere, and I certainly can go back and refer to it at any time. I don't worry about forgetting things anymore. I know that everything is scheduled and will be gotten to in a timely manner. So for me, it provides calm and peace. That's what I want to help you do today. Basically, a brain dump is where you get things out of your head and onto paper. Could be things that are catching your attention, could be things that you're worried about, it could be things that you're feeling, it could be things that you're afraid that you're going to forget, it could be anything, things that you should do, things that you could do, things that you want to do, things that you need to do. Okay? All of those things. We're going to get all of that out of your head and on paper today so that you can deal with it. Okay? All right. So, step one is to get those things out of your head. Now, you can do this many ways. You can use a simple pad of paper and an ink pen, and you can write down everything that comes to your head. I am, of course, being me, going to do it in OneNote today, and that way I can organize it and sort it and add it to my to-do list, which is actually step 2 in the process. We're not going to cover the organizing part today. We are simply going to do a guided, interactive brain dump. And this brain dump is focusing on the change of seasons. We are just now entering the beginning of spring. And for me, spring and summer are the warm weather times, and fall and winter are the cool weather times. And I am somebody who does brain dumps frequently. If you followed me for any length of time, you may have seen on my inbox that I basically do a brain dump there once a week as I'm doing my weekly planning. But a seasonal or monthly or quarterly brain dump is a lot different for me because I think about things that I don't normally think about. So let's jump into the computer and I'm going to show you how I might go about doing a brain dump. For this seasonal brain dump, I am going to start a new page, which you see here is a blank new page in my April section of my 2022 Crystal's Life Planner because that's the beginning of spring. So I am going to call this page Spring/Summer Brain dump. All right. And I like to start off these seasonal brain dumps with an affirmation about how I'm feeling. And in this case, I am feeling excited about the warmer weather. And I am looking forward to getting outside and spending time with friends and family. Okay, there we go. All right. Now, what I would like to tell you is when you do a brain dump, really anything that comes to your mind, you need to write it down. If you are writing something that might be focused on taking care of your pets and a thought creeps into your mind about tire pressure, please just pause and write down tire pressure so that you don't forget that particular issue. And the way that we're going to do this today is I'm going to show you a series of different categories and questions for you to think about. These are considered brain dumped triggers, and they will help you kind of think about things that may not be floating in the very forefront of your mind, but they are things that you might need to think about as the seasons change from winter into spring and summer. Okay? Now, I'm going to move at a pretty quick pace here, but if this is the first time that you're doing a brain dump, or if you're doing a seasonal brain dump, you may want to take more time to do that. So what I would really recommend is that you take a look at the prompts that I have on the screen for you, and then pause the video and go ahead and get everything out of your head that's related to that particular screen that you might see, or anything else that comes up, any feelings that you're having, concerns, etc. And then when you have run out of things to write down, simply click the play button, go on to the next category, and repeat the process. Anything that comes to your head related to anything that you see on the screen or otherwise, go ahead and write it down. Okay, I'm going to bring up the first set of prompts, and I'm going to do a little bit of demonstration here so that you can see that. While I'm doing that, go grab yourself either a piece of paper and a pen so that you can do your own brain dump, or if you're somebody like me who uses an online note-taking app in your computer or on your iPad, go ahead and grab that and get started. Press pause until you're ready to go. Maybe make yourself a nice warm beverage while we do this. I would estimate that it will probably take you about a half an hour to do this good seasonal deep thinking brain dump. Okay, let's get set up and we'll get back together. Okay, so here I've even stored my presentation in OneNote for you to see today. True to my branding of loving OneNote. Okay. All right, so let's see. Over here on the right-hand side of my screen, you see I have my page set up for my spring and summer brain dump. This is in OneNote. This is what I just typed a moment ago. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to just come down a couple of lines, and I'm not going to worry about spelling. I'm not going to worry about complete thoughts, sentences, grammar, all of that kind of stuff. I just want those ideas out of my head and on this screen, okay? So this is where I want you to start too. Go ahead and write a sentence or a few words about how you're feeling about this activity, how you're feeling about the changes in seasons, those kinds of things. And then we're going to get started. All right, so the first category that I have for you to think about in your brain dump for today is seasonal travel. Do you have any seasonal travel planned? What are your needs for that seasonal travel? Think about maybe your luggage. Do you need packing cubes? Have you checked your passport date lately? Have you done any research, or do you need to do any research? And this is what it would look like for me. Okay, so you can see here, after every item that comes to my head, I just hit enter. Basically, I'm creating a great big long list. Okay, and we will come back together and I'll show you what to do with these lists in the next video. For now, we just want to get things out of our head. Remember, in between topics that we have here, go ahead and pause the video so that you have time to get everything for seasonal travel out of your head. Because what happens is, once you start thinking about things, other things pop up into your mind. For example, my sister is coming to visit. Which leads me to think about all the other things that they might want to do while they're here. Next, I'd like you to think about clothing. As we switch out from winter clothes to summer clothes, think about your family and their clothing needs. Sizes and needs change with each season, so be sure to note the current sizes and items of things that you might need. How about your clothes for the upcoming season? How about your footwear? Are there any special events that you'll be attending that will require certain clothes for this season? Think about your family and their hobbies. What about your gear? Is all your equipment, technology in order? How about your camera equipment, your batteries, chargers and cables, your phones? How about your sports gear for the upcoming season? Do you need to pump up bike tires or basketballs? Do the badminton nets have holes in them or broken poles? Is there a new hobby or sport that you would like to try this season? And if so, what might you need for that? A class? Equipment? Now it's time to get those vehicles and equipment ready for the warm weather. What are your lawn and garden equipment needs? Does your lawnmower need a new battery? Are the blades sharpened? Does it need a tune-up? Do you need to stock up on fuel? Have you had the tires checked? Are there any tools that you might need to purchase? A new pair of pruners? And what about your vehicle maintenance items for your car or your truck? Do you need to add coolant for the summer? Do you need to get the tire pressure checked and the tread checked? After all the pollen's gone, do you need to wash the windows, check the wiper blades and fluid, check the lights? Do you keep an emergency kit in your car that you might need to replenish with fresh water or fresh snacks? Do you need to check the battery posts on the car battery, checking for good connections and no corrosion? Think about your yard, your garden, your landscape supplies. Do you need to hire a service to maintain your yard? What about fertilizer, seeds, plants for spring or summer, pots, hoses, nozzles, timers, lights? Do you need to order or pick up mulch? Have you looked through your landscape for pest problems? Have you looked for winter damage on plants that might need to be replaced? Now's the time to turn on your exterior spigots if the danger of frost and freezing has passed. Do you have an irrigation system that needs to be inspected or turned back on? Do you have to schedule your pool to be opened? And while we're outside, let's start thinking about those outdoor spaces that you use during this season. What needs to be considered for those? Is your outdoor furniture okay? How about the rugs? Your grill, does it need cleaning or replaced parts? Do you need to stock up on propane, charcoal, or pellets? Do you have enough outdoor lighting and decorations? Does your children have an outdoor play equipment that may need to get a safety check before they start playing on it again? Address any safety issues that you might find there. It's also good to remember to restock your sunscreen and your bug spray for outdoor fun. Think about the areas of your home to clean and organize. Porches or patios, look for any safety repairs that may be needed. How about your garage? Decks, pool area, driveway? Anything in your sheds or your outbuildings? Think about airing out your rugs, your bedding, maybe flipping your mattress. It's also time to start thinking about washing the windows, putting the storm windows away, installing, repairing screen windows. If you live in the country like I do you have a septic tank that might need to be inspected? Home maintenance seasonal items. How's your roof looking? Do you need to have the gutters cleaned? Does the house or porches need power washing? Is there any repainting that needs to be done? Repairs to doors, windows, anything inside the home? Do you have any pilot lights, like in a fireplace, that might need to be turned off? Do you have an air conditioning system that might need to be tested or serviced for the spring and summer season? Think about your smoke detectors and your carbon monoxide detectors. Check their batteries, test them as needed. Fire extinguishers. It's a good time to also review the family evacuation plan in case of emergency. Maybe drain the sediment from your hot water heater. Do you have a water softener system in your house that needs checking? Do you have ceiling fans that need to be reversed for the season? Do you have dehumidifiers that you use somewhere that you need to get set up for the season? Looking at medical appointments, physicals, dental, eye. Do you have any kids that need sports or school physicals? Have you scheduled your yearly physical and lab work for yourself? Have you scheduled your dental cleaning and checkup for the year or 6 months season? Now's a good time also to check the dates on your Benadryl, your EpiPens, your other allergy-related supplies. Restock as needed. How about restocking your sunscreen and bug spray, your first aid kits for your home and your car? We can't leave out our pets and our furry friends. Seasonal items to think about for your pets. Do you need to get flea and tick medication for them? Do they need to go to the groomer for some reason? Is there some training that you've been wanting to get for your pets? Do they need shots of some sort? Have you scheduled their checkups? Do you need to modify their food orders? How are their collars and leashes looking? Their kennel items and bedding? Their food and water bowls? Do any of those things need to be replaced? Seasonal items to consider for financial matters. Do you have a savings fund set up for trips or kids' activities and camps? Do you have any major gifts that you're going to have to give this spring or summer? Any major projects that you've been saving for or that you need to start saving for? How about education for your kids, your grandkids, or yourself? Do you have any CDs or bank accounts or mortgage accounts or brokerage accounts or loans that you need to attend to? How about saving for those big winter holidays? This is one of my favorites. People and places. Research and decide on things to do, places to go, people to meet or invite, local attractions that you'd like to go and see, family to see. Coming events. Spring and summer seems to be a time of long lists of events. Here's a few to think about. Special occasions, birthdays, anniversaries, weddings, new babies being born, graduations, retirements, holidays, travel, weekend trips, vacations, social events, cultural events, and sporting events. How are you giving back or getting involved? Think about things going on in your community, your church, your schools, civic events, projects to get involved with, volunteer work that you can do. And the last category is projects list. Take a physical or a visual walk around your home environment and think about projects that you've started but you haven't completed, projects that need to be started, projects that you want to start, creative projects that you would love to be able to do. That's it for the 15 categories that I have for you for the seasonal brain dump. I really think that you'll find, once you have finished this process, that you will feel more in control of your life and you will feel like you have things under control and that you're not going to forget things because you've written them down. I would encourage you to keep this paper or this page open in your OneNote notebook or on your countertop or on your desk, because once you have started this process, more and more things will start floating to the top. And as those things float up, just simply add them to your list, okay? When we get together next week, I'm going to show you how to start organizing and taking action on some of these items, okay? All right. Once they're on paper, what you're going to find is that it's going to be really easy to see what's really important for you in your life and what's really urgent for you to get done. And you're also going to see those things that you might have been worrying about that really aren't important at all, that really are not in your control at all, and really can come off of your list pretty quickly. Well, I hope that you have enjoyed this interactive guided brain dump through a list of major things that might change based on the season. And again, I encourage you to keep this list available so that you can add to it in the next week. And when we get back together next week, we're going to take a look at what's next, organizing and taking action. All right, if you have found benefit in anything that we've done together today, please give me a thumbs up. I would really appreciate that. And if you have any suggestions for different categories for me to add to my brain dump list, go ahead and leave me a comment. I love getting in contact with you all. And please think about subscribing to my channel if you have not done so already. And until next time, here's hoping that you can live a more simplified and organized life through better planning, maybe in OneNote. Until next time, okay, bye.